Hi, everybody. We got a jam-packed show. Going to be a lot of football today as well. Very newsy day. We also have the latest in As the Scooble Turns, a Ken Rosenthal interview. But we're going to start with this because I feel, I want to choose my words carefully. I don't feel bad, but it feels odd. The Red Wings are hot as a firecracker. And another big win, another big overtime win. I feel like they win every overtime game. Beat Carolina. They're number one. And I juxtapose it with, yeah, but I've seen the movie before. And I feel guilty almost that I can't allow myself to wrap my arms around it.
Yeah, we're Leo in the tuxedo on the boat.
Yes.
You know what's going to happen, but right now, he's looking good, he's eating good.
Life is bliss.
Right.
And you know the iceberg, or in this case, the February swoon, is right around the corner. And it's hard because this is the most complete they've looked. Now, let me say this. The rebuild, much like the Sergey retirement, has taken way too long. So I'm not even in joy phase anymore. You know, if Costa wants to touch his chandelier, that's great. In year 7, you owe us the playoffs. It's almost like a bill. Like you owe us that. Okay, we've eaten the food for 7 years. Just put the bill on the table so I can go home. But Kenny has said from the beginning of the season, and Kenny is our hockey elite. Don't do it. In fact, he's demanded we don't get excited. Now, both things can be true. This team's doing everything right. We finally feel like we have the coaching in place. We are getting an adequate amount of scoring. We are getting John Gibson playing some of the best hockey of his career over, let's say, a 4-week span. And it's like, okay, this looks the best it's looked. But I can't let go of the last 3 years. I'm afraid. So I want to use Kenny as the arbiter. It's going to be our word of the day, especially when it gets to the Scooble stuff. I want Kenny to be the arbiter of justice. And I would love to know Kenny's thoughts. Because what I'm not going to come on the air and do is, oh my God, he came out in a Corvette. I don't care. So look, God bless. It's wonderful. It's about 15 years overdue. Glad we got that done. Yeah. That way people who like Sergey are still alive, albeit in their 50s. Kenny, please. And it's totally okay. Listen, I want to say this too, because you know how Kenny gets. I don't want you to fear reprisal.
There's no rakes.
If you come on the air and you go, fellas, mea culpa, I'm throwing caution to the wind, and you're in love like Buddy the Elf, and you're going to run around singing you're in love and break into a meeting with Peter Dinklage, I'll accept that. Feeling strong? Call me Elf one more time.
But you're a little elf.
Now, so I'm not mad if you say, guys, I'm giving up the ship. I believe. I'm also not mad if you go, no. I'm not going to take a bunch of joy in January 13th with almost 40 games to go. And B, this has taken so damn long. You know what? Just get there. And then maybe I'll smile. I want to know where you're at, and I want to know where the hockey elite are at. I'm not going to do a play-by-play of Sergey's number retire. I mean, just stop. You want a bouquet of roses? I'll go buy you some.
As you said, it was just years.
It was decades.
Overdue. Yeah, right. It was like one of the most tired topics here in Detroit of, when is he going to retire his numbers? It's like, okay, I get it. You were angry. You were spiteful, but come on.
Just do the damn thing.
Right.
And they did it, and they made it right, and that's great. And it was good to have him back. Yippity-doo-dah. There are more important things like the actual game. That's where my focus is. Kenny, to the main stage.
I remember it was 2, maybe 3 years ago. That too. There was 2, maybe 3 years ago where we had a conversation where you were like, guys, look out. It was around this time of year. Guys, look out. The Red Wings, pay attention to what they're doing. They're actually, they're good. They're watchable. They're fun. And I, at the time, was excited. At the time, it was only optimism. But now, if you look at where they are in the standings, first and foremost, they're at the top of the standings. They're also 8 points out of falling completely out of the playoffs. So a week, maybe 2 of bad hockey erases everything that they've done. And around this time of year, they've proven they can do that. But also, I want to do some stat comparison. Team A, +4 goal differential, top of their division. Team B, +79 goal differential at the top of their division. One of those teams is Colorado, a legitimate top of the division type of a team. One of them is the Detroit Red Wings at the top of their division. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be a +79 goal differential team to be real.
Colorado's historically good.
Correct.
That might be a little bit much.
No, but my point is, though, they up until this point, they've had a negative goal differential until just this week. I'm not saying they're not real, and I'm not saying they can't make the playoffs. Don't get it twisted. But I'm saying this, same as it ever was, look back at the last year and the year before that and the year before that and the year before that. What conversation do we constantly have, not just with the Red Wings, but with the Tigers, but with the Pistons, but with the Lions, is what are they going to do at the deadline? What are they going to do in the offseason? And the answer always seems to be disappointing, specifically with this Red Wings team.
So if I said to you, do you want to do the car flag bit or do you want to do a scale of 1 to 10?
Let's do a scale of 1 to 10. Because I don't even want to think about car flags right now.
Okay. What's your trust in this? What's your trust that they're going to make the playoffs?
My trust in them making the playoffs
I'm a 6. Just if you needed a reference, I'm a 6. I believe in it more than I don't, yet I'm scared based on recent history of what they've done. And that you're relying on some young people, and late in the season, that becomes difficult in a congested East. I'm about a 6.
I'm about a 5.5. Because I feel like 5's a bit of a cop-out. I feel like they have more of a chance than they don't, but also, how much of a surprise would it be if they had either a terrible February or a terrible March and somehow stumbled their way out? I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, by the way, people. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm saying it's totally possible and believable based on their track record up to this point.
It wouldn't surprise me at all based on we've lived it. Now, do they seem to have more answers to the test than they had in previous years? Yes. But look, man,
I'm at a 6.
I'm also just holding my breath because I'm being candid with you. It doesn't matter what you're doing right now. It's January 13th. I mean, there's so much hockey left. They have this stupid Olympic break that's going to chop up the momentum, which I hate. I hate everything about what hockey does in that.
It's like a 3-week break.
It's a joke. With a rink that's not even done yet, by the way.
Middle of February, the rink isn't done. It's not even the same dimensions as an NHL rink.
It's basically Kaz-Tech's football field.
Right, exactly. It's a great way to put it.
They built the Kaz-Tech hockey rink. 4 feet short.
You know?
David's answering phones. He's very upset by that comment.
Right.
But no, I just, that's the problem is, I know I've been very positive at this time of year the last 3 years, and I end up looking like more of a horse's ass than I already am. So I'm reticent to do that. But I think Kenny's point, while goal differential isn't the end-all, be-all, it is a telling statistic, not as it relates to Colorado. I think the better point Kenny made is they were a negative differential team until this week. How sustainable is that as it would relate to quality, as it would relate to who you really are? That does scare me for the back half of the season, that if you're going to win by the skin of your teeth every night, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's like the 50-50 games. Like, it's great when it happens, but, man, you're living on that razor's edge.
And by the way, not to get into the weeds, because I won't, because we'll lose all of our listeners, but in every single nerdy metric that I could cite, the Red Wings are the middle of the pack in every last one of them.
Well, look, even if there's regression, they may. While there's not a great amount of padding, I also don't want to make 8 points be this one-game swing. Kenny, it would take, let's call it 2 weeks of bad hockey. Now, they're more than capable of putting that together. We've already seen it once this year. So I don't know. I want to know where the people are at. And look, the other thing, too, is just I am a different type of fan. You guys can react whatever way you want. I just find it odd. People want to call up and be angry with this franchise over a 7-year term, and then they want to do euphoria. It's like, no, I'm at a point now, the playoffs are owed. It's baked in. If they make it, great. Congrats, you showed up for work. The euphoria would have been 2 years ago or even last year. I'm done. It's an impossibility. Like, if you're in a rebuild and you don't make it in 7 years, dude, I'm not throwing a pizza party for that. So I'm just different. But I know people, look, and again, It all depends on it's on an individual caller by caller basis. I'm waiting and seeing because I've believed the last 2 years and I ended up being bitterly disappointed and angry.
I think we all kind of fell for that same bait, and we thought, okay, this year.
But I like that Kenny's not serving a poo-poo platter. No. I think that's important.
That's personal growth. Kenny is kind of separating the fandom from
especially after their 2 best wins of the year, arguably, blanking Montreal on a Saturday night 4-0 at Bell Center. And then you come home and beat a Carolina team who busts everybody's balls. That team is pestilence. And you beat them. And by the way, scoring 4 goals on Carolina, you're doing the Lord's work there. So, again, if Kenny served the poo-poo platter, I was going to have to be Guy Smiley, which I don't like being.
Doesn't matter that they gave up the lead.
No, I think battling back and winning that game, look, Carolina is one of the barometer teams in this league, not just the East. Generally speaking, that's a team you have to go through. I've had to watch my team do it. I hate playing Carolina.
They're a tough out. They're a tough team to play against in every phase.
It feels like they have 7 people on the ice. Yep. I hate it. So, no, credible. What?
Whoa.
What?
Mike Tomlin stepping down.
Well, man, you got to do the...
I didn't know if he was on the phone or not.
Hey, we got breaking news from 97.1. Mike Tomlin stepping down. All right, David?
Yeah, I saw it actually 30 minutes ago before it came out. Someone sent me some stuff, so.
Well, you didn't share it with us, so I don't really care to hear your cool story. You good with this?
I'm messing with Rico. I just found out just like he did.
I was going to say, don't do that.
I thought maybe he was on the phone, and I'm like, I don't want to.
Honestly, now you need a villain arc. Now they should hire John Harbaugh.
They should switch
the
coaches.
Raven becomes the Steeler, and the Steeler becomes the Raven.
We'll pull a Rick Pitino.
I don't care. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, Tomlin had to go. You've just reached the end. He can both be a good coach and have overstayed his welcome. I think the Ravens, it's the Spider-Man meme. Ravens are Steelers, Steelers are Ravens.
Who's going to be the next coach for the next 50 years?
Yeah, I was going to say, that's like a blood oath when you take the Steelers job.
This will be what, coach number 4?
In 80 years.
4.
So Mike Tomlin, add it to the coaching carousel. It's pretty wild stuff. 248-539-9797. The Packers could have learned from that. We'll get your phone calls next. 97.1.